Did you know between Israel and Iran who holds greater military power in these tense times? And if war breaks out, who would emerge stronger? Israel, with just 9 million people, possesses a military force powerful enough to shake the entire Middle East. On the other hand, Iran, with a population exceeding 80 million, has built one of the region's largest military infrastructures, backed by thousands of ballistic missiles, advanced drones, and a vast militia network. If these two rivals clash, who wins, who loses? Let's break it all down in this episode of The Introduction, with verified data, military stats, and strategic comparisons. We'll examine the strengths and weaknesses of both nations, from advanced fighter jets and nuclear capabilities to cyber armies and proxy fighters. Israel's military is designed for survival, with cutting-edge technology and rapid response forces. Iran, meanwhile, leverages its size, missile arsenal, and regional influence to project power and challenge its adversaries. Both sides have invested heavily in unique and formidable methods of warfare, making this rivalry one of the most complex in the world. Recent months have seen tensions escalate, with direct missile and drone attacks, and high-profile strikes targeting military and nuclear leadership. The world is watching as these two powers test each other's limits, and the stakes have never been higher. With every new development, the balance of power shifts and the risk of a wider regional war grows. Both nations are determined, resilient, and prepared to defend their interests at any cost. So who truly holds the upper hand? Stay tuned as we dive into the numbers, strategies, and realities behind the headlines. This is the ultimate military power showdown, Israel versus Iran. And as global powers watch and intervene, the outcome could reshape the Middle East for generations. Let's get started, right now, on The Introduction. When comparing the raw numbers, Iran appears to hold a significant advantage in manpower. With its large population, Iran maintains an active military force of over 525,000 personnel, a number that swells when including its several 100,000 reservists. This force is divided between the regular army and the powerful Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, an elite ideological force responsible for national security, its ballistic missile program, and its foreign operations. Iran's military budget, estimated at around $9 billion, is relatively modest for its size, but it is channeled effectively to sustain a large fighting force designed to project power across the region and bog down any potential invader through sheer numbers and strategic depth. In stark contrast, Israel operates on a different model entirely, prioritizing technology and training over sheer size. The Israel Defense Forces consist of approximately 170,000 active-duty soldiers, but this number is misleading. Israel can rapidly mobilize a highly trained and motivated reserve force of over 400,000 within days, effectively tripling its strength. This nation-in-arms concept is backed by a much larger defense budget of around $23 billion. This immense financial commitment allows Israel to equip its smaller force with some of the most advanced weaponry and defensive systems in the world, ensuring that each Israeli soldier represents a greater technological capability than their Iranian counterpart, creating a classic quality versus quantity dynamic. The core difference in their military doctrines is shaped by their strategic circumstances. Iran leverages its vast territory and population to build a force capable of waging a protracted attritional war. Its strategy relies on its ability to absorb a first strike and retaliate overwhelmingly, using its large infantry, numerous missile batteries, and regional proxy forces to create a multi-front crisis for its enemies. The Revolutionary Guard in particular is trained for asymmetric warfare, using unconventional tactics to counter a technologically superior foe. This approach is designed to make any direct conflict with Iran an incredibly costly and drawn-out affair for any adversary, including a major world power. Israel, being a small, geographically vulnerable state, cannot afford a long, drawn-out war on its own soil. Its military doctrine is therefore built around speed, intelligence, air superiority, and decisive, preemptive action. The Israeli Defense Forces are designed to deliver a swift and overwhelming blow to its enemies, neutralizing threats before they can fully materialize. This is why Israel has invested so heavily in its air force, intelligence services, and multi-layered missile defense shield. The goal is to win wars quickly and decisively, protecting its civilian population and critical infrastructure from harm. The recent successful defense against an Iranian missile barrage with U.S. support highlights the effectiveness of this technology-first approach. The skies over the Middle East represent one of the starkest contrasts between Israeli and Iranian military power. Israel possesses one of the most advanced and battle-tested air forces on the planet, a fleet built almost entirely on cutting-edge American technology. The backbone of the Israeli Air Force includes the F-35 Adir stealth fighter, considered the most advanced combat jet in the world, alongside heavily upgraded F-15 and F-16 fighters. These aircraft are not just platforms, they are integrated into a sophisticated network of electronic warfare systems, precision munitions, and superior pilot training, giving Israel the ability to achieve air dominance and strike targets deep within enemy territory with remarkable accuracy. Iran's Air Force, on the other hand, is a shadow of its former self, largely composed of aging aircraft acquired before the 1979 Islamic Revolution. Its fleet includes American-made F-14 Tomcats and F-4 Phantoms, alongside Soviet-era MiG-29S and Sukhoi jets. Sanctions have made it incredibly difficult for Iran to obtain new aircraft or even spare parts, forcing it to rely on domestic engineering to keep its vintage planes flying. While Iran has attempted to develop its own indigenous fighters like the Khozar, they are not considered a match for modern Western jets. To compensate for this weakness, Iran has invested heavily in a different kind of air power, a massive and sophisticated drone program. This is where Iran's strategy becomes clear. Unable to compete jet for jet, Iran has developed a formidable arsenal of ballistic missiles and unmanned aerial vehicles or drones. Its missile program includes weapons like the Shahab-3 and the newer Khorramshahr, capable of reaching targets up to 2,000 kilometers away, putting all of Israel within range. Its drones, such as the Shahed-136, have been used extensively by its proxies, and were a key component of its direct attack on Israel. These systems, while less sophisticated than a modern fighter jet, are cheap, numerous, and can be used to overwhelm air defenses through sheer volume, a tactic seen in the 2024 mass missile assault. While Iran focuses on offensive saturation, Israel has poured billions into creating the world's most comprehensive missile defense shield. This multi-layered system includes the famous Iron Dome for short-range rockets, David's Sling for medium-range threats, and the Arrow 3 system, which can intercept ballistic missiles in space. This defensive network, enhanced by American support, proved its worth by neutralizing the vast majority of Iranian projectiles in the recent attacks. Furthermore, Israel is widely believed to be the only nuclear power in the Middle East, possessing an estimated 80 to 90 nuclear warheads, deliverable by Jericho ballistic missiles. This undeclared nuclear arsenal serves as the ultimate deterrent, a final guarantee against any existential threat. The conflict between Israel and Iran extends far beyond the traditional battlefield, playing out in the shadows of cyberspace and on the strategic waters of the Persian Gulf. Israel's intelligence agency, the Mossad, is legendary for its global reach and audacious operations. It has demonstrated a remarkable ability to penetrate Iran's most sensitive programs, as evidenced by assassinations of nuclear scientists, sabotage of facilities, and theft of critical data. On the digital front, Israel's Unit 8200 is a world-class cyber warfare division, credited with sophisticated attacks like the Stuxnet virus that crippled Iranian nuclear centrifuges years ago. This intelligence and cyber dominance allows Israel to disrupt its adversaries' plans and gain a critical strategic advantage. Iran, well aware of its vulnerability, has responded by building its own formidable cyber capabilities. Iranian state-sponsored hacking groups, known by names like APT-34 and Charming Kitten, have become increasingly aggressive and sophisticated. They have targeted government and infrastructure sectors in Israel and the West, engaging in espionage, data theft, and disruptive attacks. This has created a relentless cyber arms race, a quiet but constant war being waged across global networks. While perhaps not as advanced as Israel's, Iran's cyber forces are persistent and have shown they can inflict real damage, making the digital domain a key battleground where Iran can challenge its technologically superior rival on more equal terms. On the seas, the two nations' naval forces reflect their differing strategic priorities. Israel operates a small but highly modern navy designed to protect its Mediterranean coastline and secure its vital shipping lanes. Its fleet includes advanced corvettes and, most notably, state-of-the-art Dolphin-class submarines. These submarines are widely believed to be capable of launching nuclear-armed cruise missiles, giving Israel a secure second strike capability, the ability to retaliate even if its land-based systems were destroyed. This small, high-tech fleet is focused on defense, deterrence, and precision strikes, rather than controlling vast areas of the ocean. Iran's navy, by contrast, is built for asymmetric warfare in the constrained and strategic waters of the Persian Gulf and the Strait of Hormuz, through which a significant portion of the world's oil passes. The IRGC's naval force operates a swarm doctrine, using hundreds of small, fast attack boats armed with missiles and torpedoes to overwhelm larger, more conventional warships. This is supplemented by a fleet of submarines, mines, and anti-ship missiles positioned along the coast. While Iran's navy would be outmatched in a blue water battle, its ability to disrupt or even close the Strait of Hormuz gives it a powerful and dangerous strategic lever to pull in any major conflict. In a direct conventional military confrontation, Israel holds a clear and decisive advantage. Its superiority in technology, air power, intelligence, and missile defense is profound. The Israeli Air Force can strike with precision anywhere in the region, while its multi-layered defense shield can protect its homeland with remarkable effectiveness, as recently demonstrated. Backed by the unwavering financial and military support of the United States, and possessing a nuclear deterrent, Israel's capacity to win a short, high-intensity war is unmatched in the Middle East. The recent decapitation strikes against Iran's top military command further underscore Israel's operational and intelligence superiority, severely disrupting Iran's ability to coordinate a complex multi-front war. However, Iran's strength lies not in conventional parity, but in its capacity to wage a long, bloody, and destabilizing conflict. Its advantages are its strategic depth, its massive population, and its willingness to absorb immense damage while inflicting a painful, grinding war of attrition on its enemies. Its vast missile and drone arsenal, while not technologically superior, is numerous enough to cause damage and terror. For years, its greatest strength was its axis of resistance, a network of proxy forces like Hezbollah and Hamas that allowed it to fight Israel indirectly. While these groups have been significantly degraded in recent conflicts, Iran's influence and ability to sow chaos across the region remains a potent, if weakened, weapon. The recent escalation has revealed both the strengths and weaknesses of each side. Israel has shown it can defend itself and strike its enemies with devastating precision. Iran has shown it has the will to attack Israel directly, but also that its offensive capabilities can be thwarted by superior technology. The assassination of its top generals and scientists is a catastrophic blow, creating a leadership vacuum at the worst possible moment. While Iran has appointed replacements, the loss of decades of experience and institutional knowledge is irreparable in the short term and severely handicaps its strategic options. Therefore, on balance, Israel's military power currently stands as significantly more effective and formidable. Ultimately, comparing military statistics and strategic doctrines can obscure a more fundamental truth. A full-scale war between Israel and Iran would be an unmitigated catastrophe for everyone. The human cost in lives, both civilian and military, would be staggering. The economic fallout from a conflict that would inevitably disrupt global energy supplies would be felt in every corner of the world. The destruction would set the region back decades and unleash waves of instability that would be impossible to contain. While it is crucial to understand the military balance, it is even more important to hope that leaders on all sides recognize that true strength is found not in the capacity to wage war, but in the wisdom and courage to choose peace.